Hi everyone, this is Miss Kimberly, teacher for the pre-K4 class for the Panda Bear classroom. Hi all my Panda Bears, how are you doing today? Did you have a wonderful Easter holiday with your family and loved ones? That's great, I did too. Okay, so for today's video, I was thinking we could read a story together. This is one of the books that I recommended on our book list for the curriculum this week. But before we dive into the story, I'd like to talk about the different parts of a book first. Do you guys remember the different parts of a book? That's right. You guys have a great memory. There's the cover page, the spine of the book, and the back page of the book. Do you guys remember what we can find on the cover page? That's right, we can find the author and the title of the book. So the author of this book, her name is Ruth Heller. And the title of the book is called The Reason for a Flower, a book about flowers, pollen, and seeds. This week we're talking a lot about flowers and planting and gardening. So I thought this was a great book to talk about. Okay, so moving on to the second part of the book, the spine. Do you guys remember what the spine is for? I'll give you a hint. That's right, the spine is to keep all of the pages together. And then the back page of the book. Do you guys remember what the back is for? What can you find on the back of a book? That's right, you can find more illustrations, you can find out more information about the story that's inside, and you can find out more about the author. Ruth Heller is the author of this book, remember? So here are 3 other books recommended. If you like this book a lot with your parents, maybe you guys can check out some more of Ruth Heller's books later on. Okay, are you ready to dive into the story? So am I. So The Reason for a Flower, a book about flowers, pollen, and seeds. Birds and bees. Do you guys see all the birds and the bees? Feel free to pause the video and see if you can count all the birds and all the bees. And these. What are these? I see different flowers and plants. I see different animals. This looks like a hummingbird. And the hummingbird is visiting a flower, a very beautiful flower, right here. This flower is called Bird of Paradise. Kind of looks like a bird. And I see butterflies sipping on some of the nectar from these orange flowers over here. And these species sip nectar from the flowers as well. Do you notice what kind of animals are on this page? I see a bat. Did you know that bats are pollinators, just like butterflies and birds? And as they search for more and more pollen from the flower goes to the next one they explore. And pollen travels in the breeze without the help of birds or bees, and very often makes you sneeze. Shoo! Have you guys ever smelled a flower before and then immediately sneezed? Ah, choo! That's happened to me a few times, especially with buttercups. From an anther on a stamen. This here is the stamen of a flower. To a stigma on a style. Here's the style. Pollen grains must travel and stay a little while. And then you'll see the reason for each flower. Even weeds. The reason for a flower is to manufacture seeds. Seeds that have a cover of one kind or another. Some grow inside a juicy fruit, and it's not odd to find them growing in a pod. Can you guys find a juicy fruit? What on this picture looks like a juicy fruit? That's right, this watermelon up here is a juicy fruit, and inside you can find little tiny black seeds. Can you find a pod? That's right here we see a little green bean with little peas. I'm sorry, a pea pod. Several peas are inside of here. And those are seeds. And the largest seed of all is a coconut. I love coconuts. This here is the coconut. Look how large that one is compared to all of the other seeds. Seeds travel far and wide. Some even like to hitch a ride upon a bike or on a shoe. Squirrels hide them and forget that they do. Some have burrs that stick to furs and travel at a gallop. Seeds can settle anywhere that they find water, sun, and air. And then they grow roots and stems and leaves. Some seeds grow up to be large, tall trees. These flowers grow where it's very dry. These flowers and plants are known as succulent plants. They don't need a lot of water, but they do need a lot of sun and a lot of dry air. And these grow where it's wet. You see lily pads. Oh, look at the little animals. You see the frog? These may not look like flowers, but they're the most important yet. This here is rice. This here is barley. And you guys know what this is. This is corn. And wheat. These are all cereals that we need to eat. Millet. Bamboo. They are a treat for us too. They're a treat for animals who don't like meat. They are called herbivorous. They're herbivores. What kind of animals do you see that are herbivores? Feel free to pause the video and identify each animal with your parent. Would you believe that these plants eat meat? And they are called carnivorous. They're carnivorous plants. Like the Venus flytrap. Ever seen one of those before? You can actually buy a Venus flytrap from your local grocery store. They eat things like flies and mosquitoes and other kinds of flying bugs. The largest flower ever found grows in the jungle near the ground. A parasite clinging tight to roots of trees that feed it. It's 3 feet wide, or maybe 4. It weighs 15 pounds and sometimes more, and has a nasty odor, a nasty smell. This flower is called Rafflesia. Have you guys ever seen a Rafflesia? I've never seen this before, but it looks beautiful. But here's a flower that owes its fame to smelling very, very sweet. And scientists agree that magnolias seem to be a prehistoric family. This is a magnolia flower, and it grows on tall magnolia trees. They smell beautiful. All flowers are angiosperm. That's an ancient Grecian term. here are just a very few products made from them for you. So that's right, guys, a lot of products come from flowers and plants. What do I mean by products? I mean things, lots of everyday things that we use. They're made of plants and flowers. Things like paper, wood, straw. So this whole broom right here was made by different plants and flowers. Candy, coffee, tea, cotton, popcorn, chocolate, pasta, perfume, bread, cork, medicine, rope, and balloons. Plants that have no flowers are fascinating too. Do you guys recognize this plant? That's right, this is a mushroom. And this flower has become a plum. Did you know that some flowers turn into fruit? Like a plum, or an orange, or a lemon, or a lime. The end. Well, thank you all for hanging out with me and reading this story. I hope that you guys get to talk a lot about flowers this week with your parents, and you go on a lot of nature hikes or nature walks. And I can't wait to see you on our Zoom meetings this week and see all the activities that you've been doing. Until then, know that I miss you and I can't wait to see you. Bye.